Norway 3, Hotel Kilowatt X-ray.
Is that Henry Kilowatt X-ray?
Roger. Hospitals keep X-rays. Name is Dennis in Pennsylvania.
Roger, Dennis. And let's see here. What's your radio today?
Yaesu FTDX-101D.
Roger. That's a fairly new radio, Roger.
Roger. Oh, geez. About a year ago, a couple of gentlemen in Hollywood, Florida worked over to P-Parametrics, and one fine-tuned it for about an hour and a half, getting out the highs and the lows. I haven't touched it since, so this should look pretty good to you, over.
Roger. Well, I was just thinking, there's a couple of things that we need to check. I don't know, and maybe you don't know, but we both should know exactly what the transmit bandwidth is on that radio. It should be in that it should be in that wide mode, 100 to 2900. Wide, 100 to 2900 on your transmit bandwidth, Roger.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know where to look for that. It's either 3 or 4K. That's all I know.
Yes, sir. I could give you a hint. It would be menu, settings, transmit, sideband. Right in that area would be your transmit bandwidth, and then one past that would be your transmit EQ. Roger?
Okay, I did menu settings. What's next?
Transmit sideband.
No, it's not there. It says mode SSB, mode AM, FM, PSK. Should I pick sideband?
Yes, sir. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. I picked sideband. What was next?
You should have a transmit bandwidth right in that area. And we're looking for 100 to 2900.
TBW.
TBW, transmit bandwidth.
Second.
Sorry, TBW, transmit bandwidth.
Yeah, I moved it, scrolled it all the way to the top with my stylus. It starts off AGCs, low cut. Let me scroll down. I don't see any transmit bandwidth yet. 1 second. TBW.
Yeah, we went through that. Well, I tell you, probably the best thing is to take notes. Take a note on that. We want your radio to be in that transmit bandwidth of a wide 100 to 2900. That's the note for your transmit bandwidth, TBW.
Yeah, I got TTBF, transmit BPF. Well, I'll look for that. I got one more click.
It'd be simpler just to take a note if you're not real sure, But it should be right in that area, transmit bandwidth. I mean, of course, they may call it something else. Hey, bird in a nest or something. Now, these manufacturers sometimes take a lot of liberties with stuff that, to me, a compressor is a compressor. It's not a compander. It's not, it's not whatever it is. It's a compressor. ICOM says tone control board. Tone control board? Gosh, that would be an equalizer, wouldn't it? I mean, these guys are strange.
Yeah, it's transmit BPF select. Then I touch the TTBF and highlighted in yellow, meaning it has not been disturbed, 100-2900 hertz.
Yes, sir. Does it have a word called wide on it, just out of curiosity?
No, main or sub. Out level is 50. rear select, rear port, and I'm at the bottom of scrolling, and nothing for wide.
Yes, sir. Okay, so, but the magic frequencies are 100 to 2900. That's the main thing. That leaves your transmitter with the ability to have the highest frequency response capabilities. And I could say that for some reason or another, if your TBW had been moved to 500 to 2500, now that's one of those frequency response things. It's kind of akin to two cans on a piece of wire or string or whatever. It's very low resolution. But if you didn't know to check for that, you could be in that mode and spend the rest of your life transmitting in that funky mode and not know it. So it's important that we double check to be sure that our transmitters are in that wide 100 to 2900 transmit bandwidth. Roger, TBW.
Okay, Roger. I understand. And I'm on factory settings.
Roger. Yeah, we're doing 100 to 2900. I don't that's the main thing. Factory settings, whatever, maybe, but 100 to 2900, and it's in the bag, Roger.
Yeah, and when they're highlighted and written in yellow, that means that's how they were. No one's disturbed it.
Sounds like famous last words to me, but whatever. So then we move on to our compressor processor. We want that on just a very small amount of 3 out of 10 or 30 out of 100, just barely touching that compressor processor. No one would even know that you're running it. So compressor processor on at a 3, Roger.
Yeah, it's on. I can tell you already. The compressor's on. It's at 65. The mic gain's at 60. And with it off, the ALC floats in the upper level of the upper 1/3. Never goes over into the blue. Just floats in the white while I talk. Over.
Roger. Okay, I'm just suggesting that we're looking to try to come up with a 3 dB dynamic range. Unprocessed audio coming from, without equipment being hooked to it except an amplifier and a microphone is called a 10 dB dynamic range situation because there is no processing involved in the audio, so it's a 10 dB dynamic range. But that's too shallow, too short, too weak to really be used in ham radio. So what we want to do is condense that 10 dB dynamic range to a 3 dB dynamic range and go from a 30% of peak modulation to an 80 to 85% of peak modulation.
Roger that. Well, I have a question for you, and it's the reason I stopped in when you said you could listen to this. Having an RF problem with a certain antenna, it seems that getting RF into the microphone, and right now the amplifier is on. It's running 1.4 kilowatt. It's 2L DMOS amplifier. Is the audio clean, or am I getting any RF in causing it to be spiky? Over.
No, sir. I'm looking at your audio on a spectrum analyzer, and you're very peaky towards the mid-range. And I'm also hearing something else in the background on a low frequency. So what I'm suggesting is that you increase your signal-to-noise ratio. I want you, instead of what you meant to be 5-6 inches away from that mic, I want you to be about 2 inches away from that mic. Roger?
Roger, I know what you're talking about. Here we go. I'm actually going to pull a mic gain back because that's taking up the distance. All right, we lowered the mic gain by 10, and now I moved up to the 2-3 inch mark. Over.
Okay, so it sounded a lot better there without that lower frequency in there. That can only be an omen of trash to come. So that's why I wanted to get you closer to mic to increase your signal-to-noise ratio. Roger?
Roger. Hey, well, thank you very much. If you said the scope looks okay and you're not hearing anything physical to your ears, that is raspiness as if RF was getting in. I know I'm okay here on 40 meters with the amplifier. Thank you so much from N3HKX.
Roger. Now, the only other alternative would be if you wanted to experiment down with adding some lower frequencies to your audio capability in transmit mode. As I mentioned before, your audio is up towards the mid-range and then rolls off pretty much on either side. So what I would suggest, and we could experiment with it if you had just a moment, would be on EQ1, which is your bass frequency. What frequency are you using on your bass EQ, number one?
I don't know. Is that in the menu?
It should be right in the area where you were, where you had your TBW. It should be really close to that area, Roger. It's a definition of your sideband circuit equalization, Roger.
Yeah, give me the words I'm looking for again.
Equalizer would be what it is, but God knows what they might call it. I don't know, the kiss of God or something. These guys are strange. But to me, it's just a very simple word. We're doing equalizer. We're doing a modulation index. Audio. Frequency response. I just use basic words. But I do use a combination of compressor processor because that says both of them. So somebody has an idea of what we're talking about. Roger.
Yeah, Roger. Yeah, it's not in here, and all the other settings have been highlighted in yellow, meaning they're still interrupted from the factory. So it's the way Yaesu sent it out. No, I'm good to go. I want to let you go and work on somebody that has comes to you with a problem that you could obviously hear. You don't really, nothing really sticks out with me, so it's been set this way for a year. I'm happy to let it roll along the way. 73's and have a great day from Dennis near Allentown, Pennsylvania, the town Billy Joel made famous.
Roger, Dennis. Well, listen, 73 to you, sir, and if you want to hear your audio, if you go to YouTube and do that call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, followed by the word logbook, will take you to this recording. It'll be cut number 1 in a series of 3,700, and I'll have it uploaded to YouTube by noon tomorrow, and I'll bet you 25 cents that you do have an equalizer in your radio.
I sure do. Thank you.
This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. Elmer, you still there, sir?